Good morning, everybody. Ms. Kuszkowski is not feeling very well, hence you have Mrs. Williamson, a guest teacher. I am hoping to feel better by tomorrow. But in the meantime, we're going to do lesson 28 together. I don't have any of my things with me because I don't feel well and I didn't come to school today to make sure that none of you got sick. So I am going to work off of a piece of paper and I am going to read through the problem as I'm doing it. Whatever I do on mine, make sure that you do on yours. It's really going to help you with this exit ticket. All right, so let's go in. So we are on lesson 28, and we're looking at the mathematical modeling exercise, which says, Juan has gained 20 pounds since last year. He now weighs 120 pounds. Okay, so he used to weigh 100. Rashad is 15 pounds heavier than Diego. We don't know how much either of those weigh yet. If Rashad and Juan weighed the same amount last year, how much does Diego weigh? Let J represent Juan's weight last year in pounds and D represent Diego's weight in pounds. Okay, so the first part it says draw a tape diagram to represent Juan's weight. So we had Juan's weight last year plus 20 pounds is 120. So we know that last year Juan weighed 100 pounds. The reason why I know that is because I'm taking J plus 20 equals 120. J equals 100. Okay. If you're thinking about it like that, you know that Rashad and Juan weighed the same amount last year. So keep in mind that Rashad's going to have some sort of play in terms of weighing this like 100 pounds. And that's going to matter. So now I drew that Rashad weighs 15 pounds more than Diego, but we don't know how much Diego weighs. So we're putting that as a D, and that's Rashad. And then we have Diego's weight. And again, it advised us to use D for Diego. And then I wrote my equations. J plus 20 equals 120. We know that J equals 100. And we know that Diego's weight plus the 15 of Rashad's plus the 20 more of Juan's is going to equal this 120. So if we think about it that way, we're really saying that Diego's weight is D plus 35 equals 120 because that evens it out to Juan's weight. So if that is the case, and I make sure that I am doing the opposite of what it says, which means that I'm going to take this and I'm going to subtract 35 from each side. That means that D is going to equal 85 pounds. Now, a really good way to double check that is remember that Rashad weighs the same as Juan did last year, and Juan weighed 100 pounds last year. So if I'm double checking this, I can see 85 plus 15, because he weighs 15 pounds more, equals 100 pounds. Equals 100 pounds. I essentially did all of mathematical exercise 1 just on this one sheet of paper. Okay? Make sure that if you have any questions to pause, rewind. You know the deal. This isn't your first video of what to do. Now, I'm going to move on to example 1. And I really like example 1 more for the reason that I think it's a lot better laid out than mathematical exercise 1. So, example 1 says, Marissa has 2 times as much money as Frank. I've used F for both because there's Frank's money, and here's Marissa having 2 times the amount of Frank. Christina has $20 more than Marissa. So if Marissa has 2 F's, which is Frank's money, so I've done the 2F plus 20 equals this magical amount. Or you can write Christina's money is M plus 20. Now it also says if Christina has $100, how much money does Frank have? So Marissa plus 20 or F plus 20 equals 100. So I'm going to go through this equation by equation to find out finally how much does Mr. Frank have. So Christina has Marissa's plus $20 equals 100. So if I'm going to do the skill that we learned last time, the opposite operation, I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides. Marissa has $80. Marissa has $80. So if I'm going to go down to Marissa's, that means that her two F's are going to equal $80. If I'm doing the opposite, I have 2F, which is multiplication. I'm going to divide 2 by both sides. 2 divided by 2 is 1, which is why that gets crossed off. 1F is the exact same thing as F. Equals, so F equals 80 divided by 2. F equals $40. So Marissa has $80. We already know that. So if I wanted to go up here and show that, but what we're now finding is Frank's amount of money. Frank has $40. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to put that. So Frank has 40, Marissa has 80, Christina has 100. Now I'm going to tell you, last time we didn't use any sort of tape diagrams for your last exit ticket for your last two skills because it wasn't necessary. I'm going to highly suggest that you use tape diagrams to lean on, especially if you're not able to see this in your head. This is not a skill because there's multiple steps and multiple parts. I probably did like 6 steps all in this one sheet of paper. So because it's not just one step anymore, you might really want to consider doing this process. So for example, I'm not going to do station 1 of your exercises with you, but I am going to talk you through it really quick. So I'm just going to have this up, but I'm going to talk you through it. Rihanna is twice as old as Madeline. So you could be drawing some sort of diagram. It says later in the problem that you're going to want to let M represent Madeline's age. So you should probably have 2 M's for Rihanna. Or yes, 2 M's for Rihanna. And then it says, and Laura is 10 years older than Rihanna. Actually, you know what? I lied. I'm going to do this one with you. Again, to show you, like, I don't necessarily have to draw a tape diagram, and I'm going to show you how I could do it if I'm not going to. So Rihanna's age is equaling 2 of Madeline's age, 2M. Laura is 10 years older than Rihanna. So I've taken Rihanna's and I've added 10 years. If Laura is 50 years old, how old is Madeline? So this is where I'm going to do it without a tape diagram. So I'm not even worrying about Madeline. I actually really want to solve for how old is Laura first, then Rihanna, and then Madeline. Okay, so you're going to see that there's 2 different parts to this equation. It's not just 2M. When you have 2 parts, you must take away the part that doesn't have the variable first. The part that doesn't have the variable is this 10. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides, and I'm going to get 40 equals 2M. A lot easier to solve. So now I'm going to do the opposite of this, which is division. That becomes a 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1 if you're confused. And M now equals 20 years old. So Maddie equals 20. M, remember, M equals Maddie's. Okay, Maddie is 20 years old. Now we're going to try to find out how much does Rihanna. How old is Rihanna? So she is twice as old as Maddie. Rihanna is 40 years old. It also already told us that Laura is 50 years old. Now, here's the deal. I know some of you are going to really want to draw this picture, and some of you are going to be able to take notes as you're reading it. I would highly suggest that you do this first and then check with this, but it's also up to you. You have station 2, station 3, station 4, and then you're done. You're gonna do that either by yourself with a partner or with your table. Again, I'm gonna highly suggest you do this. Ooh, that was my dog barking. I'm gonna highly suggest that you do this with a partner. And double check your work. When you are done, you're gonna do your exit ticket, and then you are gonna turn it in, and then you're gonna jump on Dreambox. Mrs. Williams has all the stuff that she needs in case that you need any extra assistance, but this should be what you need to finish this lesson. All right, have a great day, guys.